Hello, I'm Charles Boda, and this is your Diz Daily Fix for July 31st, 2018. A new art exhibit can currently be found in Epcot's American Heritage Gallery, which showcases the evolution of Native American art and culture. It's called Creating Tradition, Innovation, and Change in American Indian Art. Guests stopping by this installment at the American Adventure Pavilion will have the opportunity to compare contemporary Native artists to some of the ancient cultural pieces that continue to inspire them. The exhibit includes 89 pieces, which represent 40 tribes across 7 geographic regions of the United States. The display will continue to update its visual offerings over the next 5 years, with art from tribes all over the country. Now, it was produced in collaboration with the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C., and the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Creating Tradition's dedication ceremony included a blessing from the Seminole Tribe of Florida Representative Bobby Henry and a stomp dance performed by Seminole Tribe members. Music performed by Native artists will play continuously in the gallery, which will also have 3 interactive video exhibits, where Native artists discuss their perspectives on art and culture. Some highlights of the current exhibit are, and be patient with me with my pronunciation here, fashion designer Lauren Aragon used the patterns on a jar made in the 1900s by an Acoma Pueblo potter as inspiration for his ancient resonance dress. A Pokagon Potawatomi, let's go with that, black ash hamper basket made in the early 1900s is paired with modern baskets, exemplifying how this technique is maintained over centuries. A chill cap blanket from Alaska dating to the 1890s complements Raven and the Box of Daylight, a 2017 glass sculpture by Preston Singletary. This piece shows how Singletary experiments with designs from his Tlingit heritage and mediums beyond traditional Native materials. Now, Kevin Gover, director of the National Museum of the American Indian, said, "I'm delighted to recognize this association with Disney as their leadership shares the vision and creativity of contemporary American Indian artists with international visitors. We hope Epcot visitors will see the American experience begins with the American Indians who have always been here." So make sure to check that out soon. Now, the cast who comprise the Guardians of the Galaxy have released a statement in support of James Gunn. Posted on many of the actors' Twitter accounts, the letter was signed by Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Bradley Cooper, Karen Gillan, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, Michael Rooker, Pom Clementif, and Sean Gunn. Now, in lieu of reading the entire statement, here's some of the highlights from it. The letter expressed the cast's shock at Gunn's firing and explains that they intentionally took the 10 days between his termination and this statement to think, pray, listen, and discuss. And while the cast doesn't defend Gunn's previous remarks, they do defend him, citing what they believe to be sincere apologies both recently and from when Gunn initially addressed these remarks in the past. One quote from it says, "In casting each of us to help him tell the story of misfits who find redemption, he changed our lives forever. We believe the theme of redemption is more relevant now than ever." Now, the statement warns against the climate that led to Gunn's dismissal, saying, "Given the growing political divide in this country, it's safe to say that these instances will continue, although we hope Americans from across the political spectrum can ease up the character assassinations and stop weaponizing mob mentality." Now, people are generally split on whether they think Gunn deserves the position back or not. And the only thing personally I would say on that matter is that this is one of those situations where both sides make good arguments, but in either case, the Walt Disney Company is acting improperly. For those people who think that Gunn should have his job back and shouldn't have been fired in the first place, obviously they disagree with Disney. But for those people who think that Gunn shouldn't direct based on his remarks, Disney knew this in advance. Disney was well aware of this. They were well aware of Gunn's apology. So it's one of those cases where I have no idea whether maybe some part of Gunn's deal was if this ever becomes a problem that he would be let loose, but this isn't information that just sprang up to the Walt Disney Company. They were aware of this, so firing Gunn is backing down on something that they already knew was an issue. It's not exactly Disney standing up for their values. They were well aware of this. But I'm going to get off my soapbox real quick just to hop on another one. There isn't a ton of news today, so I'm going to talk about Spider-Man again, so just bear with me. The line that inspired Peter Parker to put on his mask and fight crime, the words of his Uncle Ben, "With great power comes great responsibility," have always struck a chord with me. You see, I don't have great power. I have a very small amount. So I don't have to save the world. I'm only responsible for the little bit of good I can do in the world around me. I used to think that I had to look for something special. I can build houses, so that must be my power. Maybe I'll build houses for people. I can write halfway decent, so maybe I'll write something that helps make the world a better place. And the thing is, those are fine. At the end of the day, though, they're still about ego. They're all about what makes me special. Now, there is another power I possess that many other folks do as well. One that certainly won't impress anyone and doesn't feel so unique, but is equally important. I have $100 to spare. Now, you might already know that in honor of the Diz Unplugged's 1,000th episode mark a week ago, we've asked 1,000 listeners to donate $100 to Give Kids the World, an absolutely amazing charity that has very real and measurable impacts on those going through intensely challenging situations. We're getting close to that goal, but we still need your help. Now, the thing is, sometimes our powers are something special and unique to us. But sometimes our greatest powers are circumstance and compassion. It might not be as impressive as fighting crime, but this is the real world. You won't be surrounded by adoring fans and supporters. No one is going to call you a hero, and you may never see those you help. But heroism isn't about doing something good for the thank yous. It's about sacrificing something to help another, because if people like you don't, then maybe no one else will. What makes you special isn't your skills or talents. It's the decisions you make. Your power comes from seeing responsibility where others don't, and what makes you special is that you do something about it. Now, I know spending $100 doesn't seem heroic or impressive, and it may not make you feel incredibly special. I also know that sacrificing something of yours to help critically ill children and their families take a break from their pain and frustration by providing them with transportation, medical care, food, lodging, entertainment, and access to Orlando attractions so that they can feel like a normal family for a little while, I know that is heroic, and I know that is special. And I suppose it all just depends on how you look at it. Now, you'll find links to our First Giving fundraiser in the show notes, also on wdwinfo.com, and you can also search for the Diz Unplugged at firstgiving.com. And check out the admirable and uplifting work Give Kids the World does at gktw.org. And thank you to everyone who's donated so far. The value of your intentions cannot be measured in currency, and I promise we are extremely grateful for everything Give Kids the World has received. Now, if you or a fellow partygoers, mobility issues, you may have looked into renting an ECV, or electronic conveyance vehicle, while on your Disney vacation. While Disney does rent these out themselves on property, you also have the option of using a third-party provider. Now, in the first of today's featured articles, titled "My Decision to Rent an ECV from a Disney Featured Provider," Stephanie Hudzik explains the reason why she chose to go with third-party rather than Disney. Also available for your rumor reading pleasure is Ryan Tietz's July edition of the Rumor Roundup. If you want to stay up to date on all the things that will be, won't be, or could be happening in Disney parks, make sure to check that out today. Tomorrow, go ahead and give my Parks in Perspective column a look. This week, I'll be discussing the way we view magical moments in the parks, whether we take them with us when we leave, and what that says about us. Give that a look tomorrow, please. Now, trending on the board today is a thread where posters are discussing the new lounge that just opened at Restaurantosaurus in Disney's Animal Kingdom. In the thread that was started by poster Captain America 2013, folks are wondering whether or not the park actually needed another location that sells alcoholic beverages and feel that this is another money grab on Disney's part, which is the title of the thread, another money grab. You can find that thread on the Disney Restaurants forum at disboards.com to join in the discussion. Be on the lookout later this week for our review of the new location. Join us today at 1 o'clock for the Diz Unplugged Walt Disney World edition, where the team will be breaking ground on the next 1,000 episodes of the Diz Unplugged, with news and discussions about all things Disney. Check that out on disunplugged.com at 1 p.m. today. For the weather today, Orlando will have partly cloudy skies with afternoon thunderstorms, a high of 86 and a low of 75. Those in Anaheim will have sunny skies with a high of 94 and a low of 71. For information on everything I've mentioned, go to wdwinfo.com/dailyfix, and that will be it for me today. But join us again tomorrow for another installment of your Diz Daily Fix.